Good morning, this is the Paradise Unicorn Priestess bringing you day 221 of A Course in Miracles, the Yin translation where we use female words. This would be August 9th if you're starting at the new year. The Little Hinderance. A little hindrance can seem large indeed to those who do not understand that miracles are all the same, yet teaching that is what this course is for. This is its only purpose. For only that is all there is to learn, and you can learn it in many different ways. All learning is a help or hindrance to the gate of heaven. Nothing in between is possible. There are two teachers only, who point in different ways, and you will go along the way your chosen teacher leads. There are but two directions you can take, while time remains and choice is meaningful, for never will another road be made except the way to heaven. You but choose whether to go toward heaven or away to nowhere. There is nothing else to choose. Nothing is ever lost but time, which in the end is meaningless, for it is but a little hindrance to eternity, quite meaningless to the real teacher of this world. Yet since you do believe in it, why should you waste it going nowhere, when it can be used to reach a goal as high as learning can achieve? Think not the way to heaven's gate is difficult at all. Nothing you undertake with certain purpose and high resolve and happy confidence, holding your sister's hand and keeping step to heaven's song, is difficult to do. But it is hard indeed to wander off alone and miserable down a road that leads to nothing and that has no purpose. God gave her teacher to replace the one you made, not to conflict with it, and what she would replace has been replaced. Time lasted but an instant in your mind, with no effect upon eternity, and so is all time past, and everything exactly as it was before the way to nothingness was made. The tiny tick of time in which the first mistake was made, and all of them within that one mistake, held also the correction for that one, and all of them that came within the first. And in that tiny instant time was gone, for that was all it ever was. What God gave answer to is answered and is gone. To you who still believe you live in time and know not it is gone, the Holy Spirit still guides you through the infinitely small and senseless maze you still perceive in time, though it has long since gone. You think you live in what is past. Each thing you look upon you saw but for an instant, long ago, before its unreality gave way to truth. Not one illusion still remains unanswered in your mind. Uncertainty was brought to certainty so long ago that it is hard indeed to hold it to your heart as if it were before you still. The tiny instant you would keep and make eternal passed away in heaven too soon for anything to notice it had come. What disappeared too quickly to affect the simple knowledge of the child of God can hardly still be there for you to choose to be your teacher. Only in the past, an ancient past, too short to make a world in answer to creation, did this world appear to rise. So very long ago, for such a tiny interval of time that not one note in heaven's song was missed. Yet in each unforgiving act or thought, in every judgment and in all belief in sin, is that one instant still called back, as if it could be made again in time. You keep an ancient memory before your eyes, and she who lives in memories alone is unaware of where she is. Forgiveness is the great release from time. It is the key to learning that the past is over. Madness speaks no more. There is no other teacher and no other way. For what has been undone no longer is, and who can stand upon a distant shore and dream herself across an ocean to a place and time that have long since gone by? How real a hindrance can this dream be to where she really is? For this is fact, and does not change whatever dreams she has. Yet, can she still imagine she is elsewhere and in another time? In the extreme, she can delude herself that this is true and pass from mere imagining into belief and into madness, quite convinced that where she would prefer to be, she is. Is this a hindrance to the place whereon she stands? Is any echo from the past that she may hear a fact in what is there to hear where she is now? And how much can her own illusions about time and place affect a change in where she really is? The unforgiven is a voice that calls from out a past forevermore gone by, and everything that points to it as real is but a wish that what is gone could be made real again and seen as here and now in place of what is really now and here. Is this a hindrance to the truth? The past is gone and cannot be returned to you? And do you want that fearful instant kept, when heaven seemed to disappear, and God was feared and made a symbol of your hate? Forget the time of terror that has been so long ago corrected and undone. Can sin withstand the will of God? Can it be up to you to see the past and put it in the present? You cannot go back. And everything that points the way in the direction of the past but sets you on a mission whose accomplishment can only be unreal, such as the justice your all-loving mother has ensured must come to you, and from your own unfairness to yourself has she protected you. You cannot lose your way, because there is no way but hers, and nowhere you can go except to her. Would God allow her child to lose her way along a road long since a memory of time gone by? This course will teach you only what is now. A dreadful instant in a distant past, now perfectly corrected, is of no concern nor value. Let the dead and gone be peacefully forgotten. Resurrection has come to take its place. And now you are a part of resurrection, not of death. No past illusions have the power to keep you in a place of death. A vault God's child entered an instant to be instantly restored unto her mother's perfect love. And how can she be kept in chains, long since removed and gone forever from her mind? The child whom God created is as free as God created her. She was reborn the instant that she chose to die instead of live. And will you not forgive her now because she made an error in the past that God remembers not and is not there? Now you are shifting back and forth between the past and present. Sometimes the past seems real, as if it were the present. Voices from the past are heard and then are doubted. You are like to one who still hallucinates but lacks conviction in what she perceives. This is the borderland between the worlds, the bridge between the past and present. Here the shadow of the past remains, but still a present light is dimly recognized. Once it is seen, this light can never be forgotten. It must draw you from the past into the present, where you really are. The shadow voices do not change the laws of time nor of eternity. They come from what is past and gone, and hinder not the true existence of the here and now. The real world is the second part of the hallucination. Time and death are real, and have existence that can be perceived. This terrible illusion was denied in but the time it took for God to give her answer to illusion for all time and every circumstance. And then it was no more to be experienced as there. Each day and every minute in each day, and every instant that each minute holds, you but relive the single instant when the time of terror took the place of love. And so you die each day to live again until you cross the gap between the past and present, which is not a gap at all. Such is each life, a seeming interval from birth to death and on to life again, a repetition of an instant gone by long ago that cannot be relived. And all of time is but the mad belief that what is over is still here and now. Forgive the past and let it go, for it is gone. You stand no longer on the ground that lies between the worlds. You have gone on and reached the world that lies at heaven's gate. There is no hindrance to the will of God, nor any need that you repeat again a journey that was over long ago. Look gently on your sister, and behold the world in which perception of your hate has been transformed into a world of love. I kind of love how it's referring to all of time as the little hindrance. Like, all of time that you've ever experienced, no big deal. Just a little hindrance, just a little blip. It's nothing. It's just kind of funny because this thing that's everything to us, such a big deal. It's all that we seem to know. It's just a blip. Doesn't exist really. Just a little hindrance. A few readings ago, I referenced the channeled entity Abraham Hicks, who speaks of how the seeming present moment that we think we see is really just a reflection of the past, like gum with all the juice chewed out of it. And that is a way of looking at how A Course in Miracles describes us as being obsessed with the past, and that's all we see when we think we're inhabiting the present moment, but really we're just seeing the past. This text reading gives a whole deeper meaning to it. This is the foundational story that A Course in Miracles is teaching us and is asking us to accept. It is not a thing that we have a memory of at this time, so we don't have any evidence that we can point to personally that it's true. It is a foundational story that it is asking us to take on faith based on the experiences that we've already had with the Course and the assistance it has already given us. This idea that everything we think of as reality, everything that we think of as being our memory, including this hints at, again, reincarnation, this repetition of life and death again and again, all of that was just a blip, that not even a note was missed in the Song of Heaven, this flicker in the perfect light and love where the child of God had this tiny mad idea for just the tiniest fraction of an instant. And then God the Mother answered it perfectly for all time, and eternity was not disturbed. And within that flicker is absolutely everything that we think of as reality in the universe. All of the complexity, all of the seeming creation of worlds and stars and plants and animals and people walking around and spirits and experiences. And again, also we have this concept that was briefly mentioned, this idea that it is a strain and an effort to maintain this illusion, and suggested that it's the drama and the forgetfulness that we seem to experience that keeps us enthralled in it. I find it interesting that it calls the real world, that which I refer to as paradise, the second half of the hallucination, the second half of the illusion. This implies the first half was basically a living hell, or, well, A Course in Miracles would laugh at my use of the word living. It's a dying hell. The second half of the hallucination is the return home, the real world, paradise, where the dream is much sweeter, and we employ all of our resources and effort in waking our other selves, the other shards of God, and inviting them to wake up out of the prison that is time. And how fitting that we speak of this other half of the hallucination just as we are embarking on the other half of the lessons of A Course in Miracles for the year. All right, we are going to have an introduction to the second half of this year's lessons. The format is going to be different. So here's the introduction. Words will mean little now. We use them but as guides on which we do not now depend. For now, we seek direct experience of truth alone. The lessons that remain are merely introductions to the times in which we leave the world of pain and go to enter peace. Now we begin to reach the goal this course has set and find the end toward which our practicing was always geared. Now we attempt to let the exercise be merely a beginning. For we wait in quiet expectation for our God and Mother. She has promised she will take the final step herself, and we are sure her promises are kept. We have come far along the road, and now we wait for her. We will continue spending time with her each morning and at night, as long as makes us happy. We will not consider time a matter of duration now. We use as much as we will need for the result that we desire, nor will we forget our hourly remembrance in between, calling to God when we have need of her, as we are tempted to forget our goal. We will continue with a central thought for all the days to come, and we will use that thought to introduce our times of rest and calm our minds at need. Yet we will not content ourselves with simple practicing in the remaining holy instants which conclude the year that we have given God. We say some simple words of welcome and expect our Mother to reveal herself, as she has promised. We have called on her, and she has promised that her child will not remain unanswered when she calls her name. Now do we come to her with but her word upon our minds and hearts, and wait for her to take the step to us that she has told us through her voice she would not fail to take when we invited her. She has not left her child in all her madness, nor betrayed her trust in her. Has not her faithfulness earned her the invitation that she seeks to make us happy? We will offer it, and it will be accepted. So our times with her will now be spent. We say the words of invitation that her voice suggests, and then we wait for her to come to us. Now is the time of prophecy fulfilled. Now are all the ancient promises upheld and fully kept. No step remains for time to separate from its accomplishment, for now we cannot fail. Sit silently and wait upon your Mother. She has willed to come to you when you have recognized it is your will she do so. And you could have never come this far unless you saw, however dimly, that it is your will. I am so close to you, we cannot fail. Mother, we give these holy times to you in gratitude to her who taught us how to leave the world of sorrow in exchange for its replacement given us by you. We look not backward now, we look ahead and fix our eyes upon the journey's end. Accept these little gifts of thanks from us, as through Christ's vision we behold a world beyond the one we made, and take that world to be the full replacement of our own. And now we wait in silence, unafraid and certain of your coming. We have sought to find our way by following the guide you sent to us. We did not know the way, but you did not forget us. And we know that you will not forget us now. We ask but that your ancient promises be kept, which are your will to keep. We will with you in asking this. The Mother and the Child, whose holy will created all that is, can fail in nothing. In this certainty, we undertake these last few steps to you, and rest in confidence upon your love, which will not fail the child who calls to you. And so we start upon the final part of this one holy year, which we have spent together in the search for truth and God, who is its one creator. We have found the way she chose for us, and made the choice to follow it as she would have us go. Her hand has held us up. Her thoughts have lit the darkness of our minds. Her love is called to us unceasingly since time began. We had a wish that God would fail to have the child whom she created for herself. We wanted God to change herself and be what we would make of her, and we believed that our insane desires were the truth. Now we are glad that this is all undone, and we no longer think illusions true. The memory of God is shimmering across the wide horizons of our minds. A moment more and it will rise again. A moment more and we who are God's children are safely home where she would have us be. Now is the need for practice almost done, for in this final section we will come to understand that we need only call to God, and all temptations disappear. Instead of words, we need but feel her love. Instead of prayers, we need but call her name. Instead of judging, we need but be still and let all things be healed. We will accept the way God's plan will end as we received the way it started. Now it is complete. This year has brought us to eternity. One further use for words we still retain. From time to time, instructions on a theme of special relevance will intersperse our daily lessons and the periods of wordless, deep experience which should come afterwards. These special thoughts should be reviewed each day, each one of them to be continued till the next is given you. They should be slowly read and thought about a little while, preceding one of the holy and blessed instants in the day. We give the first of these instructions now. What is forgiveness? Forgiveness recognizes what you thought your sister did to you has not occurred. It does not pardon sins and make them real. It sees there was no sin. And in that view are all your sins forgiven. What is sin except a false idea about God's child? Forgiveness merely sees its falsity and therefore lets it go. What then is free to take its place is now the will of God. An unforgiving thought is one which makes a judgment that it will not raise to doubt, although it is not true. The mind is closed and will not be released. The thought protects projection, tightening its chains, so that distortions are more veiled and more obscure, less easily accessible to doubt, and further kept from reason. What can come between a fixed projection and the aim that it has chosen as its wanted goal? An unforgiving thought does many things. In frantic action, it pursues its goal, twisting and overturning what it sees as interfering with its chosen path. Distortion is its purpose, and the means by which it would accomplish it as well. It sets about its furious attempts to smash reality without concern for anything that would appear to pose a contradiction to its point of view. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is still and quietly does nothing. It offends no aspect of reality nor seeks to twist it to appearances it likes. It merely looks and waits and judges not. She who would not forgive must judge, for she must justify her failure to forgive. But she who would forgive herself must learn to welcome truth exactly as it is. Do nothing then, and let forgiveness show you what to do through her who is your guide, your savior and protector, strong in hope and certain of your ultimate success. She has forgiven you already, for such is her function, given her by God. Now must you share her function and forgive whom she has saved, whose sinlessness she sees, and whom she honors as the child of God. I'm going to pause here and say that as this theme on forgiveness is the thing that we are to reflect upon for the next set of lessons, I am not going to reread it into the podcast each day, but I will include the text in the podcast show notes so that they are easy to find and may be reviewed to enhance your lesson practicing for that day. This was a very powerful testament to what forgiveness is, and it is important to keep in mind. Lesson 221. Peace to my mind. Let all my thoughts be still. Mother, I come to you today to seek the peace that you alone can give. I come in silence. In the quiet of my heart, the deep recesses of my mind, I wait and listen for your voice. My mother, speak to me today. I come to hear your voice in silence and in certainty and love. Sure, you will hear my call and answer me. Now do we wait in quiet. God is here because we wait together. I am sure that she will speak to you and you will hear. Accept my confidence, for it is yours. Our minds are joined. We wait with one intent, to hear our mother's answer to our call, to let our thoughts be still, and find her peace, to hear her speak to us of what we are, and to reveal herself unto her child. That is all for today. Happy practicing.